All right. So school starts 1 week. Oh my, not even 6 days. And we are so excited for that. And we're prepared for that. Those of you who were here last year, some of this stuff you've got is a breeze at. Some of you who were distance learners, this is going to be a little bit new to you, but you did do this when you came for field day. And then we do know that we have some new hounds entirely here, our kinders and people who have moved into just the greatest community here in Torrance. So we're going to go ahead and go through our protocols of what's going to be happening here at Hickory. As always, safety is our biggest measure here. So we are so concerned, obviously, for the well-being of all of our students and staff, and we're going to do everything we can to make them feel comfortable, and we're going to do everything we can to keep them safe. So please know that is our top priority here at school.
So here at Hickory, our main mode of communication is through email and text. And that is how all of our families receive regular updates from Hickory. For example, today you all received an email from Mrs. Mayberry regarding this meeting. So it's updates like that that you will be receiving. So please do make sure to check PowerSchool to make sure that we have your most up-to-date contact information. We want to make sure we have your correct email address, your phone numbers, and we also want to make sure we have your most updated release contact information. So if in the case that your child gets sick or needs to leave the campus and we need to know who to release your child to, we do need those most updated information. And you can do all of this through PowerSchool. And also, we do need all of our families to register on PowerSchool. And this is something that you do every year. And if you do register on PowerSchool, you will be able to see who your child's teacher will be before school starts. But you will not be able to see that until you register. And once again, we do need all families to register on PowerSchool before school starts.
We only have 77 more families that need to register, which is pretty good at a school of 855.
So here in Torrance Unified, we do have district-wide safety measures, and the LA County Department of Public Health has guidelines that all campuses follow, such as guidelines for cleaning, disinfection, and ventilation of school campuses. Also district-wide, we have practices where we will be cleaning common touch surfaces like student desks, restrooms. We also have hand sanitizer stations available at gate entrances, classrooms, outside of classrooms. And the expectation is for our students and staff to wash their hands and to sanitize their hands regularly. District-wide, you will see visible signage around the campus, and these signages are promoting healthy hygiene practices and some reminders to stay home when ill. And also, we do have water refilling stations that's installed on all campuses. So these are some examples of different kinds of signs that you might see around campus, and you will also see these signages at other TUSD campuses as well. This is a picture of our sanitizer stands. And then this is a picture of our water refilling station. So here at Hickory, we have 2 of them. So please have your child come to school with a water bottle, and the students can refill those water bottles here on campus, because the water fountains will be closed.
So each and every day, every student that's coming onto campus, as well as staff member, will be doing a daily health screener. And so those of you who were here last school year, you're very familiar with this. But the website is listed here. I also put it in the letter that was sent home to you. But what this is a series of questions, and it will present you either a green or a red screen. If it's red, don't even come near us. If it's green, that's what we need to see at the gate to ensure your child's safety to let them on in. And so that'll be done each and every day. And one thing I'm telling parents is this is a great thing on your phone to bookmark, because then you could just go ahead and click on that link every morning when you're at the gate. We are asking families to make sure that you're doing this not prior to 1 hour before arrival. So it'll say the time on the screen. So please ensure that, you know, it's within an hour of arriving here on campus. We also do have a hard copy of this that you could send with your child that has your signature as well. And they can hand that off to an employee at the gates that when they enter the campus. So these are the series of questions and what it looks like. You'll hit a submit button. And then after that, it'll give you your green screen or a red screen if you checked yeses to any of the questions that were asked of you. So it'll present the date and the time. We are going to be having our valet system and we're ready to go on the first day. And so what we're going to ask families is to either have their piece of paper ready, or they're going to show the employees at our valet line the green screen. And then what we're going to do is we have a system of us that we're going to hand your child almost like a token. And then we will, they can enter the gate with that token more or less. Those tokens will be cleaned every single day for your child as they're coming in and out of campus. We have about 1,000 of them ready to go for our first day. How are you going to drop off your children?
So these are some of the drop off and pickup gates that we have here at Hickory. So if you are facing the front of the campus where the office is, you will see 2 gates, one on the right and one on the left. So those are our gates numbers 1 and 2. Our gate numbers 3 and 4 are on the left side. If you're going through that valet line, it's at the end. So gate 4 will be used by kinders. And we also have gate 3 as well. Gate 5 is the one that's at the back of the campus closest to the park. So that gate will also be available for our students. Now, we are asking all of our families that kindergarten students, they need to use gate number 4. That is our kinder gate. So once again, all of our kinder students will be utilizing gate number 4. Now, if the kinder students have older siblings, they can walk with the kinder students and they can utilize gate 3. And because they're really next to each other, it's very convenient. So once again, all the older siblings with younger kinder siblings can utilize gate 3. And the kinder students will go through gate 4. This is an aerial shot of our Hickory gates. So right there is 227th and there's our valet. So there's that gate 1 and 2 by the office. Here's the gates 3 and 4, and gate 4 once again is our kinder gate. And right there in the back, it's our gate number 5. That's our park gate.
So classroom safety measures here at Hickory Elementary School. So we do have physical distancing indoors, even though it's, is required, and we're asking students to stay, as far apart as they can. So we will have 27 students in each room, or up to 27. It depends on the exact classroom. And our desks are going to be 3 feet apart. We will have our windows and doors open in our classrooms, in all of our classrooms, and each classroom has an air purifier that is inside of it. Our classrooms that have the air conditioning unit, we call it our modulars. I'm pointing to them because they're right behind my office. They do have a heating and air conditioning system, which that is turned on. And so that will be constantly on when children are in the classrooms and beyond as well. So we're maximizing everything that we could do. And so our classrooms look a little bit different, but that doesn't change anything that's happening within them. We are still moving on and doing the amazing things that we do with our curriculum, with our lessons, and with the amazing programs that we have here at Hickory. So this is what a typical classroom is going to look like. Like I said, different, but still the awesomeness of learning is going to be happening inside of those, with teachers that are just more than ever excited to see your children's faces. So some of the protocols that we'll be following is we're going to obviously make sure that we are physically distancing as much as possible. And so we have that 3-foot distance in between classes. Even outside of classes, we are going to be ensuring that 6 feet apart. Every time your child enters and exits the classroom, we are going to ask them to hand sanitize. Water bottles and snacks are going to be kept outside, not saying that your child can't get a drink. We're just going to ask them to step outside so that they could safely remove their mask to go ahead and take their drinks of water. And all students and staff, anyone indoors, will be wearing a mask. I know we had quite a few questions about lunchtime. And so like last year, TUSD qualified for the grant that will be allowing free breakfast and lunch to all students. We've never had breakfast here at Hickory until last school year. And so what's going to happen is that's going to be a grab and go system. So if children would like to go ahead and get a breakfast, they're just going to go into the cafeteria and grab their little bag, and then they're going to take it to their area to go to their classroom. And then this is information. I'm going to be putting this presentation up online about the Titan free meal program that you can go ahead and apply for, and let us know kind of, how your family is doing. And then menus are always available on our website. I do my best to put them up on our website as well as within the eBlast. So you should be getting that information. We just don't have for what August is going to be quite yet. So lunch looks a little bit different. We actually changed our schedule a little bit. Typically, we had our kindergarten students eat by themselves, but this year our kinders and our first graders are going to be eating together, and we're going to be eating all outside. And so kids are going to be apart on their seats, and they have little stickers that say, please sit here. And what we're doing is we are going to eat kids outside, and then they're going to be able to go to their recess time. We are going to have a gap between grades so that we can go ahead and thoroughly clean our tables off to have the next set of students come in. So our kinders and first graders will go ahead and eat first, and then our second and third graders will eat together. And then finally, our fourth and fifth graders will eat together. I know there were some questions of what if it rains? Oh my goodness, please don't rain, but it's going to. It's raining today of all days, right? But good, because there's fires. If it does rain, we do have a rainy day schedule in which we will be staggering one class at a time, because we can ensure that students are underneath a canopy and will not get wet outside. So eating will always occur outside, rain or shine here at Hickory.
So if our students are presenting with symptoms, we are asking that the students should not attend school. And here we listed some of those symptoms like fever and sore throat. So if you or your child has had contact with a person that is known to be infected with COVID-19 in the last 10 days, we are asking for the students to stay home. Also, we are asking students to stay home if they are living with or are in close contact with anyone that is experiencing symptoms or has been confirmed as having positive for COVID-19. And here at Hickory, we value importance. We know attendance is very important and we take it seriously. However, more than before, we are taking great measures and great care to ensure the safety of all of our students. So we do err on the side of safety. So if you are in doubt, please do keep your child at home.
So if your child does get sick at Hickory, what is going to happen? So while on campus, if your child has any of the COVID symptoms, we're going to go ahead. We have an isolation room in which students would remain to. We do also have a trained licensed nurse who will be on campus to assist them as well. What will happen is students will go home and they will need to remain home unless they receive a negative PCR test that can be done within the 5 days or more that is negative. And the PCR is a little bit different than the rapid. It's the one that has to go up the nose. And then, or a note from your child's physician, because I did get quite a few questions about allergies and things like that. And we know it's coming. I had a cold this summer. It was awful. You're being like shunned upon going to the store. And I went to the doctor and everything, but we just need to ensure the safety of all of our students and staff here. And so please always err on that side. And then the big elephant in the room, what is going to happen if a child was exposed and a child did come back with a positive COVID-19 case? And so obviously we want to ensure the safety of all of you, all of our students and staff. And so what we will do is we will go ahead and let you know of any student who is a close contact to the child that tested positive. So you will be notified via PowerSchool and email. Students who are not fully vaccinated will be asked to stay at home for the 10-day quarantine. And so you will be notified of this as the doctor as well. Students who remain asymptomatic, so who have been a close contact but remain symptomatic and receive a negative COVID test done at least 5 days after this exposure, can return to school with that negative test. Everyone else would need to stay out for the 10 days. And then we do our best to work with, or we do work with LADPH, to contact trace with our TUSD COVID team. Just some quick reminders. This looks a little bit different this year. And so the front office is a little bit limited. We are asking that you make an appointment. A lot of times, like I can meet you outside, or we can set up a Zoom or a phone call if you need to talk to me. And the same thing with your teachers. It's a little bit different this year. We don't get to have that daily greeting that if some of you who are used to walking to and from your child's classroom. Parents and guardians are not permitted to walk children to their classroom this year. And this is just for right now. All of these things are ever changing. And so please know that. And we know this isn't an easy thing as a parent. I have 2 children that are going to school. My baby is starting a new school and I don't get to walk her to her classroom this year. So I know how that feels, but please ensure that, this was decided by the Board of Education for the safety of our entire community. And then obviously always feel free to reach out to your teachers via email. Some of them communicate through other means as well, so that you can go ahead and schedule those times. We are going to be having a back to school night through Zoom on September 9th, and that's going to be a great time to find out information from your classes as well. And then our Hickory Volunteers. We have such an amazing community here that are just always willing to help out with anything that we are in need of. And right now we are doing our best to limit the transmission of COVID-19 at school. And part of that is limiting the amount of contacts that children do have here. And so there is a new, and I know that the district sent out an email to everyone in the district about the new volunteer process, but we are asking people to be vaccinated or to supply the COVID-19 a negative test in order to volunteer. At this time, volunteers are very limited. So things when we are up and ready to go, our library volunteers might be available, but within the classroom, that is not allowed. And so this is going to be a great time for those of you who do, and I know your teachers are going to be asking for help. You're going to set up a little system where you can help them even outside of their classroom with the things that you would typically do within them. And then as soon as this changes, we'll be the first to let you know, because we can't wait to see you guys back on campus as well. And there's what, oh, go ahead, excuse me, I'm sorry.
So if you know if your child will not be on campus, will not be attending school that day, please do report that absence to your student's teacher and also the front office.
And I would like to introduce our new Hickory PTA president, Sunny Ju, who's going to speak about the things that are happening here within our PTA as well.
Hi guys, I'm Sunny. So this is my first year as president or being part of the PTA board, but let me tell you, I've been at this school for a while. I've just had my 5th grader graduate and he's going to Madrona this year. And I have 2 left at Hickory, 1 in 4th and 1 in starting 1st. So I'm super excited, but I just want to let you know, I'm in the same boat as you. I'm a parent just like you. And so we're just going to do our best as a PTA to keep you guys informed and updated. So I highly encourage you guys to check out our website if you haven't already, hickorypta.net. And you can learn all about the other board members as well and the programs that we're hoping to offer, but we'll keep you updated. As soon as we know, you guys will know. And also, this is kind of our new thing this year, If you can see on the screen, there's a QR code for our Facebook link. So if you guys use Facebook, I highly encourage you to follow us there as well, because we will be doing, posts and up-to-date things and things with links that are very helpful. So check that out. And if you don't know how to use a QR code, it's really cool. It's really simple. I learned this year myself. You just kind of hold up your phone's camera to it, and it should work where it just takes you to that link, and it's automatic. So if it doesn't work right away, check your camera settings and it should be fine. Otherwise, you can just go to the link that I put for Hickory PTA, and you can also link to our Facebook from that site. So I hope that helps. I know, we're doing our best to keep everyone updated through that.
And thank you, Ms. Drew, for that. You and your team have done an amazing job here. We can't wait to see more.
I can't wait to.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. I'm going to go ahead. This is a lot of information that's technical and through the Department of Health, but I do want to provide that to you. So please stay tuned, of the different protocols that are happening here, and they're changing. So, circle back and visit again for this information. What I'm going to do is go through some of the questions that seem to be coming up quite often, before, and then go ahead and let you answer any or ask, and then I can answer any questions that you have. But I did see a question about multiple children. Multiple children are going to need 2 different sign-ins. So if you could show us the green screen twice. Or if you're using a paper copy, they'll have 2 different copies. And I know Miss Ju and her team have been working so hard on the first day of school packets. We typically give that to you before school, but it will be provided to your child before school or on the first day. And inside of that, they made those copies for you, so you can continue to make those for getting onto campus, the health screener, and those are available on the Hickory website as well. The YMCA also does the health screening. That's the same as us. So once kids are at the Y, what happens is they get into the YMCA in the morning for all of us working parents out there, and then they release the students when it's time. And so when they release them, they're already here on campus and have been health screened.
Just to clarify, Mrs. Mayberry,
yeah.
So you stated that if you have more than one child, you just show the green screen twice, or just keep it holding up while they check each kid in.
Yeah.
But I actually am letting my 4th grader have his own device. So does that mean he just holds it up for himself as well as his sister?
Yeah, and then the sister can go ahead and either he can check her in or you can check her in. You can have like 2 photos, so he's scrolling through the 2, or you can have her have the hard copy.
Okay. Thank you.
So the clarity with the gates, all of those same gates are going to be open before and after school. The kinder gate is going to be the only gate where kinders can come from. Go in and out of, excuse me. The Greenwood gate, we're closing this school year. Due to the more students being on campus, we do not have a crossing guard, no a pedestrian walk, and we still have quite a few parents running across the street with their kids, and that is not something I'd like to be a part of. As we've always said, safety is our #1 priority here at Hickory. A question about teachers and staff being vaccinated. So the governor did have a mandate that all employees need to be vaccinated. That order was called, and with the date of October 15th. So the district is working to create a plan for that, to ensure that practice. In the meantime, I do also know, and I think this was communicated on the email from Ms. Khan earlier this week, that they are also setting up and getting ready for the test sites that will be available. I know this is some of your first time here, and what's going to happen is on the day before school starts, your child's teacher is going to be sending you a back to school letter and directions for the first day. And so on the first day, we're going to have plenty of staff outside at the gates and gearing students to the correct areas to ensure their safety and getting them to their classrooms. All right. Yeah, thanks for I didn't know Walgreens was doing free PCR tests. Awesome. All right. Yeah, I know someone did ask about a nut-free table. Yes, there's a nut-free table at lunchtime. So please know that too. And then what would happen if your child was quarantined, due to a close contact? So we are going to be sending home, each of our teachers is prepared for this. And so we will be sending homework for your students to do, but I can't say what that's going to look like quite yet, because everything that we do here at Hickory is through our signature practices of Torrance Unified, and it's personalized for that child. So what will happen is the child or the teacher is going to be getting that ready to you and sending it to you and your child. Is there anything you need to do for your babysitter? I mean, one thing is just where you're going to meet your kids at the end of the day. Always knowing where that meeting point is going to be, because we do have a variety of gates open. We're going to go ahead and, make sure that they get to the right area. So we do have HVAC systems. I know someone said the particular filter. I don't know what exact filter it is. I can go ahead and find that out if you want to personally email me your question. But their HVAC systems are installed, and then there's air purifiers in each classroom that does not have that HVAC system with the air conditioner and the heater installed within it. And the water filling stations is filtered water. I've never been asked that. We can go ahead and exit, Ms. Kim, the share screen, so I can see a few more faces here. So I know I said that if you're a kindergarten parent, I know that you're new and you have questions because you haven't been here yet. A lot of them were here for our orientations that we had for both kinder and first grade this summer. And it was so great to see them, getting their tours and everything of our school. But please know, our teachers are fantastic. They're prepared for this. They're excited for this. And this isn't their first rodeo. The first day of school, we have many new students who haven't seen our campus, and our teachers give the best welcome that they can ever have. And so I hope we do as well in the office. And then we go ahead and we tour the school. We talk to them about all the amazing opportunities that we do have here at schools. I have a question. Are there vaccination exemptions for teachers and staff? There's exemptions for any human being, but it is, I'm not, privy to any of my teachers' vaccination status, as it's a HIPAA violation.
Okay.
All right, so we'll go ahead. Well, first of all, I want to do my joke. Does anybody watch Ted Lasso? If you don't, it's such a warm-hearted little show, but he's a soccer coach and he doesn't really know soccer, which is funny because we're a soccer family. And he goes to a press conference and he walks in there all like, da, 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 and he's like, all right, the first one to get this riddle gets to ask the first question. So let's see how many of you are in my generation. Pat Benatar. It's quiet. Hit me with your best shot. Da, 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 da. I almost peeled over when I saw that this week on TV. All right, so fire away.
I think there's a few questions regarding YMCA pickups and drop-offs and where to do that. Do you know anything about that?
So the YMCA pickup and drop-off has always been at their same location, and they'll go ahead and communicate that with you. So it's on Greenwood. They have a gate on Greenwood. Yeah, and you can contact them. I'm surprised they haven't sent you any information about what it's going to look like this year, because they're usually pretty on top of that.
And just like before, the staff, the YMCA staff, if your child is in the before or after school care, they will walk your kids to and from the YMCA class, right? I know that's how it used to be done. So if anyone is worried about that, I would double check with your YMCA people. Let's see. What does it say for the first 2 days? Does kinder end at 11:59 or all grades? No, I think you meant 1:59.
Yeah, just kindergarten is early. It ends that early time at 11:59. Isn't that funny? 11:59. Because we don't feed them lunch on those first days. So it'll be good for the first graders who haven't been here to, go have their first lunch without our little kinders. So their first day of lunch will be at on Monday.
First 2 days.
Yes. And please know, parents, that, and this happened to me as a mom, your kids are going to come home with full lunches. Don't worry. They're healthy. They're fine. They're so excited to see their friends right now. So some of them can't even get it together to open up their lunch and eat. And we try our hardest to go out there and be like, eat something and eat something. But these first few days are just buzzing with fun. And so know that too as well.
There's a question about walking children to school. You can walk your children to school in the front of the campus, but then parents will not be allowed on campus, inside.
So when will you find out your child's teacher? You're going to find out your child's teacher on Wednesday evening. And a lot of it is not being released by me. It's like something that's done by the district. And so if I find out if it's any different than that, I'll go ahead and make sure I ensure you and let you know when that's going to be. And sometimes you find out before I do because you log on and see it. So
there's a question about how many entrances are open at the gates. We do have 5 gates. 4 in the front, 1 in the back. However, one of the gates is strictly for kinder use. So then if your kinder child has an older sibling, then that older sibling can go with the kinder sibling, and the kinders will use the kinder gate. And right next to it is another gate that the older sibling can use.
So our gates do open at 8:35 in the morning, but our kinder gate does not open until 8:45.
Write that down.
So please know that. 8:35. And that was in the letter that accompanied with this Zoom link meeting.
I think there was a question earlier in the chat whether or not kids will be allowed to mix during recess and lunch.
Oh, they will. And so our students are going to be eating in different areas per grade level, like the first graders will eat together and then our kindergartners, and they are allowed to play together. We are going to have equipment out so they can play handball and kickball like we used to, jump ropes, hula hoops, things like that. Our slides are going to be open. Our new playground that only a few have been able to use will be able to use as well. We're going to rotate classes through there. Whenever your child is absent, we ask that you let the teacher know, and then you can also go ahead and let the front office know. So just give the front office a call. No, kinder has their own playground and own yard, and so they won't be mixing with the older kids. They're all protected with a little fence around it. And it's so exciting for our first graders. The first day they come and get to see the new playground, and wow, it's like all this space for them to run around in. Well, the TUSD Human Resources is collecting our teachers and staff's vaccination status. So who's going to be watching your children when they're out on the playground? Me, Mrs. Kim. Our staff is, our teachers, staff, and then we have employees as well, as sort of our classified employees that will be out there helping like we do typically every school year. No, we're always going to, somebody asked about it, the mask protocol. We always want the children to wear it properly. We know that things might slide off and we're just going to ask them to put it back on correctly.
There's a question about other family members picking up the students. That's totally fine, but we do need those release contact informations on PowerSchool. So please go to PowerSchool, add the release information. So if you wanted a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle, please list them as the release contact information on PowerSchool.
A question about masks at recess. That's a family decision if you'd like your child to wear a mask at recess. Oh, can you get, yes, absolutely. Bring your own lunch from home. That's absolutely okay. And some of you know who have like fifth graders around here. Pizza day is kind of a popular day. Line gets long. So always feel free to pack your own lunch and snacks, in that morning recess time. They're going to get hungry, especially after those first 2 days wear off of them. Bathroom rules. It's just like any other year. We're going to ask permission to go to the restroom. We have so many stalls in it. We have stickers all over campus that if there is a line, to ensure that the children are 6 feet apart. Do we have English learner classes? We don't have English learner classes, but we have lots of opportunities here that we'll be communicating once school opens about what those are.
And then if you are reporting absences, we don't have a specific email address just for absences, but you can go ahead and contact the teacher and also call the front office, and then we'll go ahead and note that absence.
Yeah, and then someone asked, the lunch menu, like I mentioned earlier, was going to be coming out. When we get it, we load it onto our website. I always put it in the e-blast as well. And I think there was one other I just missed. Oh, signing up for lunch. So what happens is in the beginning of the day, the teacher asks, are any of you going to be buyers or grabbing a lunch? And then we ask students to raise their hands. So if you could please just remind your child if they do have one, that would be great. And then we do, so we notify the cafeteria how many lunches will be in there. Or needed in there, excuse me.
So there's a question about masks and the location of the masks and the coverage. When they're inside the classroom, the masks need to cover the mouth and the nose. And of course, if the masks are, broken, or sometimes I know the straps can break, we do have extra masks, but I do encourage you, if your child has a preference, like, some kids like their Pokemon masks, or, or me, I like my Marvel masks. Just go ahead and have those extra masks in their backpacks.
But every class in your office is more than equipped with masks to provide the child. Accidents happen, like Elmo says. Yeah, our teachers always help our students with anything that they're in need of. So please know that. Trust them, they're awesome. The school district's definition of being a close contact is within 6 feet distance for more than 15 minutes. And that's not just the school districts, it's the Los Angeles Department of Public Health's ruling. And one thing that we are doing this school year is we are going to be sitting in more assigned seats so that we could, within the classroom, which is going to be most of where that over the 15 minutes will occur. And so it would be, we could contact trace within the classroom. So as I mentioned, she's new to the school, and we have lots of new students each and every year. So your child's teacher will be emailing you the night before, just her welcome back letter, letting you know what's going to be happening. And then at that time too, we're going to be giving you a map of where your child's going to be located, but we have about 75 staff members here who are going to be helping out. And we're excited. Now we're just debating what Hickory Hound shirt we're going to wear the first day. Well, that's the end of our presentation here. I'm going to keep on for a few minutes of those of you that might want to ask a particular question, but as always, please feel free to send an email. It's such a great way to be able to ask those questions. And we'll stay on for any questions that you didn't feel were answered. There's a lot of, I think this is my biggest Zoom ever. I'm very excited and competitive. So I like big numbers.
Just to clarify again, Mrs. Mayberry, for the first day, especially for our new little ones and new little kids who've never been on campus. Will there be staff to walk them from the front gate after the parents drop them off? Walk them to class?
Not individually. No, we don't have 900 employees to do that, but we're going to have their signage all over our campus, as well as our staff members are going to be guiding the students where to go.
They'll be guiding them.
The teachers are going to be giving specific directions as well in their letter.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And we have several questions about parents asking if they can bring lunch from home. Yes, students can bring lunch from home.
Yes, kids you all are eligible for the free lunch regardless for this school year.
I have a quick question, Mrs. Mayberry.
Yes.
I know you went over this, but my phone was cutting out. For the green screens,
yeah.
If we have 2 kids, do we have to fill it out twice or just show it twice?
You have to fill it out twice.
Okay, so I have 2 separate instances of Safari open where I filled it out once for each child.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing.
And are we going to be allowed to take a picture of it also like we were last year?
Absolutely. We just asked that it's done within an hour of arrival.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you.
That's what I do. I definitely screenshot it just because, you know, sometimes you click away from your little browser window and then it disappears and you're like, but just like take a screenshot and you're good. I think there's a question about Chromebooks.
Oh, Chromebooks. We're getting them ready. They're going back into classrooms where they belong. So that's very, very exciting for us. So we still are waiting on a few of the Chromebooks to be wired. Some exciting news is we have not been one-to-one, and it's looking very good that each classroom will have their own set of Chromebooks this school year. And so we're just waiting. We're going to roll them out to our upper elementaries. We always have 3rd, 4th, and 5th right away. We also have a set available here so that if a student needs to go out in quarantine, we can almost hand them one on the way out of the door. And can they bring their own Chromebook? It won't be necessary. We have enough here.
Hi, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
This is the first time my kids will be attending. One is a kindergartner.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of nervous about all this. Just wondering, could we come to the school to take a look before it opens? You know, there was kindergarten orientation or something which we completely missed. So is that a possibility or?
So our campuses are closed to anybody but staff and students currently.
Okay.
And that was to mandate the LADPH orders. I am a mom and understand your fear. So if I accidentally leave the gate open one night here, isn't that terrible?
Okay, all right.
But that's all I can say about that. Sound good? Thumbs up?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. I didn't want to put that in writing because, you know.
Hey, this is Dara. I'm also the first time mom here. I have a question. Thank you. So how do I notify a teacher about my child's allergy or meal preference? I'm really excited that school are providing a lunch and we like to use that option, but how would my child this is his first time also school exposure, right? He would need some help or assistance at the beginning so he doesn't pick up a wrong meal, something that will trouble him later.
So you will notify our health office of his need. And so you can even do that now. You can email our front office. I think even on Power School that you do write that there, and we make our staff know right away of that. Also, like I said, the teacher is going to be sending an email on the first day. If your food allergy, I would definitely let them know of that food allergy so that they can help out with the process of checking out those first few days.
Sounds good. Okay, thank you.
Sure, of course.
Hi, my name is Viviana, and I am also a first-time parent here at Hickory. I do have a question for you in terms of, it's more about related to COVID and following close contacts. How do you know in terms of close contacts, if kids are mixing during recess, like how do you follow, how do you trace?
So we are going to, go ahead. Excuse me, I didn't hear that last part. I kept talking.
No, how would you notify the parents if they're mixing and there is a close contact, if a student comes positive? How do you know like which parents to notify if they're mixing during recess?
So remember, our close contact is defined within 6 feet with or without a mask for 15 minutes or no more. They won't be around anyone for 15 minutes or more, except for those inside of the classroom. And so lunchtime is going to be 15 minutes. That's traveling back and forth as well. And so it's a very quick time period, as well as the recess time. Kids are going to be assigned, like for instance, like we will allow 5th graders to be on the playground at a time, but then the 4th graders are going to be in a different area at the lunch times. So they will be a little bit segregated in that sense, but within their grade level during those open times, there won't be. And then supplies, please don't worry about supplies. We got everything we need right now. And your teachers are going to notify you of any, donations and things like that, they would like for their classroom. So, you can hold, don't worry. We gotcha. We gotcha. I promise.
Hello. Hi, I have a question.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm also we're new to the school as well this year. I missed the first part because I wasn't able to get in on the Zoom, but did you say the lunch is 15 minutes?
15 minutes.
It's a 15-minute lunch, okay. And then will the kids be assigned the same desk every day?
Within their classroom, absolutely.
Okay, and they'll use the same supplies every day?
They're going to be using what's at their desk, but they are allowed to share. As well, but the desks are pretty segregated this year.
Okay, thank you very much.
I had a question, Ms. Marbury, about what is the protocol if a student or staff tests positive? Are we going to get a school-wide email that there's a case that's positive, just to let us know? What is the protocol for that?
So as I mentioned in our slideshow, the exposure, what we are going to do is the close contacts that were for 15 minutes or more within that student would be notified of that. But there would be no school-wide email that goes out if there was a case here at Hickory.
So I guess my concern is if it was like a staff or a lunch person that's helping monitor students, don't you think that like the parents would want to know?
So our staff members are instructed to be working 6 feet apart. And so they aren't going to get that close to yours. The person that we would notify you would be your teacher, because that would be somebody without it. Someone said, we just enrolled, welcome, but all of our kindergarten kind of information is on our website. So you can go ahead and look there too.
I have a question about, so I signed up my kids for after school program and you said that the first 2 days, kinder kids, the classes will end at 11:59. Do I need to pack lunch for him, or will the lunch be provided, or how does that?
Lunch will not be, is it not going to be here that day? Like we're not going through our lunch period.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I had a question. So my daughter, like her speaking development is not like very 100% well, I guess, for her age. And the bathroom, I know she has to ask for permission, but like she's gone to Montessori before on her first day because she didn't know where the bathroom was or how to ask for it. She kind of had an accident in class. So my question is, what do you guys do if an accident occurs in class? And, is there anything you guys can do to accommodate her? Like, does she always have to ask permission, or can she just go to the bathroom? Or
so that would be a conversation that you have with your child's teacher. And all of our teachers are accommodating to what kids need in order to succeed. But we do have a sanitation process that happens because these things occur. And so please know that, you know, obviously the safety is our first concern. And so you can go ahead and communicate that once you know your child's teacher.
Okay, and then a second question is, is there like an earthquake kit that we need to make? I remember when I went to school, there was one that we had to make or whatever, and I didn't see any information about that.
So yes, there hasn't been, because that's going to be in our first day of school packet, and our amazing PTA helps us put those together for you to purchase. And if you don't want to purchase it directly through them, it'll list the supplies that are needed, and you'll go ahead and provide that to your classroom teacher. It was so funny when we were going back to school last December with our kindergarten students. I'll tell you something funny. A parent asked me the same thing, and I said, my goodness, if there's an earthquake, please help us all right now, right? Like, I think we're dealing with enough. I mean, come on, but we got to get ready, right? And we always are prepared here at Hickory.
And then one last question. If there's like another circumstance like last year, there's a big outbreak of COVID and things start shutting down again, do you guys have a procedure for that? Or is school going to still continue if that's the case?
We have done that once. We have done that twice. We've done it 3 times last school year. And so we're ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah, I promise you. Like I said, myself here at Hickory, you know, Dr. Stowe and everyone at the district office and our Board of Education safety is their #1 call. And so we're doing everything to ensure that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
There's a question about valet. Valet is just optional. It's not mandatory, but it is something that we do have here at Hickory, but it is not available for our kinder students. Our kinder students will have to be walked up, and they need to utilize the kinder gate only.
Hey, I have one quick question. We are saying that the kids will be mixed during the lunch break, but did you say that teacher will be there to monitor them just to avoid any conflict with elder kids and a younger kid?
So we do have, it won't be the teachers. The teachers are going to walk them into the area, and then after that, we have staff that will be ensuring that.
Got it. Okay. And one more question: is the first 2-day timing is up to 11:59 or 1:59? There's 2 different information in the flyer we got.
It's 11:59. It was a typo from a very tired Mrs. Mayberry. I apologize.
No worries. Just making sure so we know when to come over and pick up.
Thank you. Thanks. I appreciate your patience. I know someone asked about the absence policy. Right now, we do have an absence policy. Every school in California does. I'm a human being, right? And I want to err on the side of safety. If my child is sneezing, I'm not sending them to school right now. And so please know that we have kind souls. And so letters that we typically do for legal obligations as an administrator, those are being put to the wayside right now to ensure the safety of all of our kids.
I have a question.
Sorry, I'll go ahead. I'll answer that in just a second. But with the lunch, every single day, our teachers ask, like we have a morning routine with the kids. We're going to come in and talk about Monday when we're in kindergarten, but they do ask children every day, and we take a lunch count every single day. And I know someone asked something about assemblies. Sorry, I'll say that really quick. We are going to be having assemblies. I'm the host. Right now, we are going to, I'm working with the process. I don't have one quite yet, so I can't say what that is, but I'll tell you what I'm thinking is maybe having like 1 or 2, like 1 grade level out 6 feet apart on the quad, and then having a screen and zooming in for the other classes to watch while that's going on. That's what, if I had to plan one tomorrow, would occur. But I got a few days before Monday, our first assembly.
My question's regarding valet for kinder. So I have a 4th grader, and if they're allowed to walk the kinder to the kinder gate, can I drop my son off in the valet line with my 4th grader?
No, we still want the kinders to be coming in with the parent. just because, it is a driveway, those first couple of, months, just to ensure they're getting used to the routine. I really do make the call based on if the class is ready, because I am making a call if the entire kindergarten's ready. So you know what, like, this is a different year. And man, I'll tell you, last year, we always see kids cry on the first day of school. Last year, no one cried when they came back to school with their masks on. Like, it was smooth sailing. Like, who knows what's going to happen? Maybe in October, those kinders are going to be ready to do ballet. I'll go ahead and communicate that with you.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I have a question about while they're in the classrooms, will we have the windows and doors open for ventilation, or will it just be the air conditioning?
The windows and doors will be open.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I believe there was a question about whether there's COVID testing on campus. I think I know the answer to that. And what do we do if, I guess, a child is showing symptoms and things like that?
So right now, the district is setting up a system in which they will be able to deliver the PCR test. It's just not ready yet. And so because the mandate had just come down, they're prepping. And so no, they will be communicating with what that system is. But in the meantime, I suggest going to your healthcare provider. Someone mentioned Walgreens is giving out free ones as well. You can go to those sites. And from what I'm hearing, it's pretty quick. Like in the beginning of September, the system will be ready here at TUSD.
And if a child is showing symptoms, or a teacher or staff suspects, or a child is feeling unwell,
just like we mentioned in the presentation, we're going to send them down to the health.
Is there a system in place for that?
Yep. We have an isolation room. And then from that point, we're going to contact you and walk the parents through the system of what they need to do.
So what if the kid has some just minor allergy? Do we just need to notify the teachers ahead of time, like, some sneezing or some sort of a minor reaction, nothing to worry? But given with the COVID situation, it can be easily confused that he might be going down the different lane, right? How do we notify? Should we talk to the teacher ahead of time and when to worry?
I always let your teachers know of any health concerns that they have. That's going to be a communication that you have with them. As far as if it's something that looks very severe that warrants us sending your child to the health office and sending them home due to the protocols that we have, we'll ask for you to receive a physician's note to return to school, and that can happen. We know.
Okay.
How will we know who's picking up your children after school? I'd communicate that with your teacher, your child's teacher. And then as well as, you as a family creating where your system's going to be for your children to meet. Kindergartners are always escorted out of the gates, but our 1st through 5th graders do exit the gates on their own. And we have staff all around and working in our valet system to put students into cars.
There's a question about how you can access the online screening tool. The address is c19.tusd.org. Once again, c19.tusd.org.
And this is also on the Hickory website, and we're going to post this presentation there as well afterwards. And there's a QR code at every gate. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. We have these giant QR codes at every gate. So if you just forget, please know you'll be able to access it here at campus. Excuse me.
I had a question about quarantining. So say somebody in my 4th grader's class, she's in close contact with someone that had COVID. Mm-hmm. And so will my kinder have to do the 10-day quarantine as well, seeing as they live in the same house? Should we be prepared for siblings to stay home for the 10 days?
I would be prepared for it. And then it is, every case, it's a case-by-case basis. And so we'll let you know, after talking with you and working with our team here at TUSD.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Of course. Well, I'm going to take that awkward silence as we were questioned out, or we answered. Like I said, there are this is a different school year. I have to say, you know, I've been working in public education. This is officially my 21st year. I know I look really good for my age. And so it looks different. It looks different, but what I can assure you is nothing here has changed at Hickory. Our students are our highest priority and their safety as well as yours. And teachers are ready for this. We're ready for this. We are excited for this. Like, we have missed the buzz of students being here learning, and it's going to happen to the highest quality. What we don't say enough here at Hickory is number one, we're number one. We're the second biggest school to Victor, but we are the highest achieving school. It is an amazing place. We thank you for entrusting that and letting us provide that to you. And you're going to see the amazing things that we do to those of you who are new here.
Hi. So I have a question. Well, I actually have two questions. And I know this is an uncomfortable question. It's come up in different facets. And I know we've kind of, I'm not sure if it's because there's not an answer, but I think myself and other parents have questions about, is there like a scalable distance learning, right? Like if the kids are quarantining or if there's a health issue, right? As things are shifting, is there a plan to like scale back in distance learning? Again, like if kids have to quarantine or if there's an issue, is there a plan right now? Or is that something that we're waiting until there's a wave? I would like to hear about what is known right now.
So what is known right now is that kids are coming for their first day of school on August 26th. What we know right now are the protocols that we need to follow that we've been going through. I can't predict and I can't play a what if game, but I can tell you that my staff is amazing, and they've had to go in and out of being within a classroom to distance learning, some of them 4 to 5 times, and they're prepared. And there's nothing that Hickory isn't prepared for, but those orders aren't going to be given by me, Mrs. Mayberry, they're going to be given above. And so please know that. And so while I know that might not be the most comfortable thing as a parent, we're prepped for every which way. But the one thing we are most excited about right now is just getting kids here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I appreciate, you know, I think clarity is really important. So just knowing that that's not an option, I think it's important to know.
Right.
The second question I had for kids who, I think I saw it also in the chat, for kids with IEPs, IPPs, 504 plans, is there going to be an orientation to talk to the teams, or is that something we have to coordinate separately?
So that's something that your child's case carrier will be contacting you about. If you're new to Hickory, I mean, obviously, if your legal obligations, we'll be doing a 30-day IEP, which you get to meet your teams, and then you're going to be communicating with that staff member.
Okay, is that through the? And again, weird questions, but new district, right? Is there like a school liaison, or is it like a district function? I'm just trying to figure out, like, do I go through somebody in the school, or do I go through the district and that gets communicated down?
So that will be here at your school. Your child's case carrier will contact you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what they're called, case carrier. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm learning terminology and all these things.
They're a learning center teacher, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And you know what? Nothing is making me uncomfortable anymore these days, right? Because I have learned a lot the past year and a half, which is very, very interesting and fun. But as I've mentioned several times, reach out when you do have those questions. I'm a parent. I understand what you're going through. I mean, I do and I don't, right? And I'm also this administrator that's delivering messages. But as this is an amazing community, Ms. Ju, thank you for helping manage the chat room as well to answer those questions. But you have one darn good community here. I see several of our teachers in here, who are listening, that you can reach out to as well. And then when they don't know, sometimes we just don't know because we can't predict the future. We're going with what we know is best, and we always know and always do what's best for kids here at Hickory. I can put my blood oath on that statement alone. And so, as I have said, thank you for entrusting us. Thank you for bringing your children here. And we can't wait to see them all in their we're getting new Hound t-shirts those first couple of weeks of school. But thank you for attending tonight and being such an active member. Have a good one.
Oh, are we, our kinder